Madison, when is the next League of Women's March Voters event?
The next event is November 2nd, and it's called Women's Suffrage and Political Office, a seat at the table, and it's at 7 p.m., and there are 5 panelists and 1 moderator, that being Leslie Danksberg.
Liquid State Brewing Company has a new brewery coming to Ithaca in just a few weeks. Co-owners Ben Brotman and Jamie Thielens are both beer lovers and home brewers.
I think we came up with this about 6 years ago, pretty much, 6 or 7 years ago. It's been a path, a long path, but it just started working. Everything kind of started coming into place in the last year and a half.
I'm here at Ithaca Sheepskin, where just behind me, Jessica Leonard, one of the owners, is making a hat just like this one. In 2014, Mark and Jessica Leonard took over Ithaca Sheepskin. Then just a year later, in 2015, after a season of craft shows, they relocated the workshop to the Ithaca Commons. What makes this store so different from others is that all the work is handmade in the back of the shop. More than 30 people showed up to the American Studies talk at Cornell University. Law professors Aziz Rana, Gerald Torres, and Scott Peters talked about the Constitution and what it means to America.
The silver lining in the moment that we're in.
Just prior to the talk, I was given a pocketbook Constitution, and during the talk they actually talk about how the Constitution was interpreted differently then than it is now. A constitutional crisis? These professors believe it could be possible, as things are very different now than they were when the Constitution was first created. How do we make it better, you may ask? Peter says that those involved in higher education can make a difference by being the carriers of democratic values.
The role in a democratic society is that of critic and leader as well as servant.
A public hearing on the amendments for the 2018 Tompkins County budget was held on Monday at the Legislative Chambers in Ithaca. People of the community had the opportunity to voice their opinions and issues with the budget. The main focus was human rights.
And I believe that my efforts and the work of the Office of Human Rights will live on regardless.
The Reuse Center in Ithaca sells a plethora of items ranging anywhere from skis to bikes like the ones you see behind me. However, the interesting thing is that these have all been used before and put here in efforts to improve sustainability. The mission statement of the center is people, planet, and profit. To Executive Director of Finger Lakes Reuse, Diane Cohen, the mission is to enhance the community, economy, and environment through reuse.
What we're really trying to do from a sustainability perspective is to be as resourceful as we can with the material resources that are already here existing in our community.
The Ithaca Rotary Club planned a pancake breakfast for Election Day, and what pairs better with Election Day than pancakes? Members of the Rotary Club organized the event. Children, adults, and candidates all enjoyed coming together.
I just want to say that I've been a member of the Ithaca Rotary for over 20 years, and I'm a retired educator. I taught for about 33 years in the Ithaca City School District, and the Rotary is international as well as local.
For Newswatch in Ithaca, I'm Madison Bess.
I'm Dee Dee Hatch, and I'm a photographer, and now I'm a jewelry maker. I spent my really early years in Hawaii. For 3 years we lived in Hawaii when I was 4, 5, and 6. And I think it was during that time that my father took a lot of pictures of my brother and me because we were in Hawaii and it was beautiful. And so pictures became kind of part of my fabric. When I got to high school, by then I lived in Concord, Massachusetts. There was a camera club and a dark room that I could use, and so I learned how to print photographs in the dark room, and then I was really hooked on photography. I have a very good friend who was turning 60, and so I had this idea of making a necklace for her, and I wanted to use 60 rocks. And so I collected the rocks, and I have a friend who drills the rocks with me, for me. And I had him drill about 80 rocks. And then I had some leftovers, and I just started fooling around with these little rocks that had holes in them, and I thought, well, maybe I could make some earrings. So I got some beads, and I got some wires, and I just started playing around with making earrings. One of the things that I really enjoy about this process of making earrings is that it's completely manual. And I get to interact with people. I get to interact with the customers. And if they were sold through a store where I didn't have contact with customers, I wouldn't get that.